I've been AFK'ing at this iron farm a little over 24 hours, and this iron storage is starting to get really full. That's pretty exciting. That is a lot of iron back there. However, I've noticed a little bit of a problem. I went back here to check on it, and one of the last couple chests here has a whole bunch of iron in it. Just regular iron, not shulker boxes full of iron. And so I went through to try and figure out why this had happened, and the reason is actually really simple. We are out of shulker boxes. I originally loaded about 3,500 shulker boxes into this system, which is to say I took 4 double chests of shulker shells, crafted them up with 2 double chests of chests, and made the equivalent number of shulker boxes, which is 3,456. A lot of darn shulker boxes. And I didn't do the math of how much that would actually store, and it turns out that is 54 double chests worth of storage, which makes sense that it's exactly 54 double chests, but there are 70 double chests over here. We've got 35 on this side. It's 5 by 7, 35 on this side. So I never actually loaded the system up with enough shulker boxes to actually meet our storage needs. And I just put a whole lot in there, and I thought that was going to be enough. And nope, it's not quite enough. Looks like we didn't run out of shulker boxes too long ago. This is all the iron that's in the system here. So if we get rid of this, and there's a little more in the hopper right behind here. That's all there is. So it didn't happen that long ago. And this side actually didn't run out of shulker boxes at all. This side is perfect. So this side must have just run out of shulker boxes. Isn't that a beautiful sight? Both sides completely full storage all the way to the very end. Even this last chest here is completely full. I show this to Astazora. He called this forever iron, and he's not wrong. This is 7 million iron ingots. Do you think we're ever going to use this much? The bone meal, actually, I needed another chest. This was actually full. I had to move some over. And then it also ran out of shulker boxes, so I had to put some more shulker boxes. I have continuously underestimated how many items this farm puts out. So yeah, now it is time to actually get some of this crafting done. So we're going to do all that. So one time I actually have properly made sure that we have the correct number of shulker boxes is down here. I actually did the math, and 2 million iron blocks would take a little over 1,000 shulker boxes. So I have made sure that there are plenty of shulker boxes in this system right here. So this is about 7 million, and we can craft them down at about 500,000 per hour. So it's going to take about 14 hours to craft them all. Now, this is all AFK crafting, but I don't know if I have that much time. But we'll see what we can do. We can at least get some of this crafted down, make some more room to do some more AFKing. I actually ended up crafting every single one of all of these 7 million iron ingots. It did take about 14 hours. I let it run overnight, and then some extra hours on top of that, but we've got them all crafted down. There were a few small issues that I ran into while I was doing it. One of them is I forgot this little bit of redstone right here. So this slime block wasn't actually pushing. So they were only reaching the first one. So I think I did lose some shulker shells, some empty shulker boxes, because the system wasn't working properly. I did notice it about an hour or two in, and I fixed it. And now you can see that it is working. And look at how clean this is. Like, these are all perfectly stacked all the way down. I think it comes down to about here, a little bit longer. So it's almost the perfect amount too. So that's pretty awesome. Look at all those pre-stacked shulker boxes. So that was one issue I ran into. Another issue I ran into is that these shulker loaders are spitting out an extra iron block when they're cracking their shulker shell. So we got blocks of iron here. It's not really causing any problem. This is a normal thing that happens with shulker loaders. When you break the box, you actually need to stop the droppers from firing while that's happening, and if the timing is incorrect, they could spit out an item while there's not a shulker box there. It hasn't caused any problems, but it's not something you typically want a shulker loader to do. I didn't notice that problem in creative. I didn't see it at all, so I'm wondering why it happens so frequently in vanilla. I will probably fix it if I ever use this shulker box loader for something else, but for this purposes, it worked fine. I'm not going to try and fix it just because it's not causing any real problems. But yeah, we've got 8 double chests. You can see here, there's 1 shulker box in this one. There's 5. There's a few in here. So we got just over 8 double chests filled with shulker boxes, filled with the iron blocks. That's a lot of iron. And then the one last third issue that I ran into I haven't actually fixed this one yet. One of these hopper mine carts down here. This one right here. You can see it's actually been bumped and it's pushed up against this hopper right here. So when there's a shulker over here, it's only getting into this hopper minecart, not into this one. So two of these droppers over here were never getting any iron blocks. So I was only running at 31x, and this is very difficult to fix while you've got a shulker box here, because you have to break this hopper and this comparator in order to fix this issue. And if there's a shulker box there, the second you break this comparator, it'll cycle another shulker box into it, and it cause all kinds of weird issues. So it's much easier to fix now that it's empty. So I will definitely go ahead and fix that. It's a pretty simple fix. It's just got bumped, so it's not quite in the right position, but fairly small issues didn't prevent me from crafting all of that iron. And with 8 double chests of shulker boxes, we need about 20 to equal 2 million. So we're almost halfway there, actually. So I've been working pretty much exclusively in creative the last couple of days. So I let my other account just kind of sit and AFK at the iron farm because we want to get all the iron. And so the last clip I took was just before I started AFKing the farm. And so that means I actually know exactly when I started AFKing the farm. And that was exactly 24 hours ago, pretty much to the minute. So this is what we have here is 24 hours worth of AFK iron. And so we can actually do the math and figure out what the rates of our iron farm is. So we ended up with 29 double chests. Each of those will hold 54 shulker boxes. So that is a total of 1,566 shulker boxes. We had an additional 29 hoppers plus 2 more underneath those first 2 chests. That is a total of 31 hoppers. Each of those holds 5 items, 5 shulker boxes. So a total of 155 shulker boxes there. And then we had the 3 additional shulker boxes. So we've got 1,566, 155, and 3 is a total of 1,724 shulker boxes. Divided by 24 is an average of 71.8 shulker boxes per hour, or 124,000 iron ingots per hour. We have accumulated 2,979,000, so we might as well just consider it 3 million iron ingots over 24 hours. So in 24 hours, 3 million iron ingots, 124,000 iron per hour. That's actually a little bit better than the rates that we were expecting. And I was being conservative, saying 100,000, 120,000 was my high end. And these are real-time rates. So any lag entered in the equation, I factored that in because this is 24 hours of real time. Although I have noticed recently that the iron farm is running at a better tick rate than I would have expected. It's actually running at real time, so that's really good too. So we have 124,000 iron per hour iron farm, and it's working fantastic. You know, I don't think I've ever properly shown it. I know I recorded a clip in front of all these golems coming through, but I don't think I actually showed how many golems are dying at any given point in time while I'm running this farm. This is fun to watch, actually. It's really loud too. It's fantastic. They're just dying so quickly. So much iron coming through. So we're not just gonna sit and AFK at the iron farm for one episode. That wouldn't make for a very interesting episode, although I think it's been pretty interesting up until this point. I think the iron farm is still quite a lot of fun, but I want to get some other things done. Specifically, I want to get some building done. We've been putting off putting a building around this concrete factory right here for far too long. I don't like leaving things like this in my base. I like the aesthetic of my base, and I don't like it when I just leave things looking like this. I want to put a proper building around it, something that looks really nice, and I've designed a building that I think really does it justice. so this is what I came up with. We finally got a proper skyscraper in my base here. No doubt that that is a skyscraper, and I think the shape of this turned out really, really cool. It's got like this spirally design where all the floors will spiral down, and then like this side is longer than that side is. Just a really cool shape, I think. We come down here, we can see the main area. We got a nice little path. I did all the landscaping and everything. Wanted to make sure that all those details were taken care of. By the way, the landscaping back here got a pretty big overhaul. Asta's idea came up with a little river that runs over to here. We got some more water coming on over here, and then we can get in through the main entrance here is over here, and we're straight into the concrete maker where we can go upstairs. I actually didn't refill this with water. I need to fix that. Not important. We don't need to go up there right now, and then you can get to the back of the machine right now. And we can actually walk right through this waterfall, which is very cool. Go over the waterfall in a little bit, but here's the back of it. So very cool. I think this turned out really well, but I think something is missing. There's those little details that really send a build right over the edge. And one of the things I thought of was, I thought maybe I could build a balcony, and we actually ended up with like this natural balcony here. So right here was just like this natural balcony. So I'm like, maybe if I just cut a hole through this wall so we can get up into this upper chamber here. And then I also added over under this side, we've got that infinity pool. And this thing is very, very cool because it is an infinity pool that goes all the way down to the ocean itself. So it falls down here, falls down into a little lake. We've got a little waterfall that falls down into a smaller section of the island. It goes all the way down to the ocean. And I think that ended up being a really cool effect. We got a few other waterfalls that are falling off the island. So that was really cool. Just a really cool pool. And just like once I added this balcony and pool, this area here just felt like an evil lair. I don't know. It just seems that way to me. So why don't we decorate this and make it look a little more like an evil lair? Yeah, I think that's more like it. You know, I hope this isn't too subtle. I've also added these evil-looking statues. I designed these things actually as a joke. I was talking with Carms. Carms actually helped me quite a bit, giving me ideas for the design and stuff. And I was talking about the idea of making a statue, and he sent me this video as a joke of this really detailed ice dragon that somebody had built in Minecraft. And I'm like, yeah, let me just mock that up real quick. And so I made this. And it doesn't look like a dragon. But it does look like an evil bird, and it still looks like a cool statue. So I've added that to all four corners, and I think that adds a nice little touch to it as well. Look at that. That helps quite a bit. So one last thing that I think we need is a cover, because we don't want people to know that we're up to no good. Because like once people come in here and they see my evil lair, you know, this is supposed to stay a secret. People aren't supposed to know I'm evil. Once they walk in here, they're clearly going to know that I'm evil and that I'm up to no good. So we don't want people snooping around. So we need a cover for our corporation that will keep people from being suspicious. Perfect. No one will suspect a thing. All right, so now that we got all those details taken care of, we can come over here. We can take a walk onto our throne. We can sit here and relax. And, well, apparently we've actually transformed into a villain. All right, so now we're a villain. Well, I guess it's always just been a matter of time before I got transformed into a villain. So what do we do with this? What do we do if we're now a villain? I guess we could start by taking control of all the iron in the world. It's a good start. Maybe I could like hire some goons and put them out at the iron farm. Keep people from actually using that thing. Yeah, that could probably work. We also have this old iron farm back at spawn, and there actually is still some iron in here. Maybe not too much, but there is still iron. So I guess we might as well just go ahead and just tear this whole thing down. There, that's much better. Now let's box up all this storage here. Wow, that is quite a bit more than I expected. But now we should control all of the iron on the server. And if anybody wants some, they're going to have to come through us. So if we want to keep our cover, I think it's pretty important that our company have a philanthropic side as well. So we want to do some good for the server so that people don't know that we're evil. So what I think we want to do is I want to get started on the big museum project. We've been sitting on this one for months, and I think it's time to at least get it started. And the first step, we're going to keep it real simple here because we're going to break up this project across many, many episodes. We're just going to do small steps, a few at a time, every few episodes and stuff like that. So the first step is just finding a spot. And we want to keep it outside of spawn, but close to spawn. And you can see over here, these are right at the spawn range. So that's kind of the radius. So come out to about here, and then over here. We've got mountains over here. That's definitely not going to work. My floating island's over here. So I think one of the best spots would be right across this river here. We could even build a nice little bridge going across to it. We got a fairly easy spot here where there's some digging that might be involved, possibly with TNT, but I think we can work around this. I think this is going to be a good spot. By the way, this building is gigantic. It's going to take up most of this space. So for this first little section, all we're going to do is we're going to pick the exact spot where it's going to go, and I'm going to clear out all the trees in that area. There's just something about a leaf decay time lapse that's just really, really satisfying to watch. So we got all the trees cleared out. Well, most of them. There's still some trees back there and there that we didn't clear out, but it's a pretty good start. It gets the purpose done, which is now we've got them out of the way so that we can actually get some training done and then some building done. So training's going to be the next step. So we'll look to do that in the next episode. But this is going to be a fun project. I'm excited about this one. So that's all I have for you today. I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you again real soon. Bye now.